Hi all, welcome back to Tech with Ria. Hope you all are doing well. So in this video, I will be taking you all through how we generate date and time values using Tosca. Okay, so this is also a part of test cases section and it comes under regular expressions. So date expressions, how we use those in our test cases, we will be seeing those today. So these expressions will let us generate dynamic values during our runtime. So for example, when you are working on any application, like for example, if you're using this application and if you want to enter any specific date value over here. So instead of manually typing a date or specific date, you can automatically generate a random date through these syntax that has been provided by Tosca inbuilt. So you don't have to create them manually or as such. You just need to understand the basic usage and the syntax of this functionality, and you're good to go with your test cases. So what this will do by using this, it will help you work faster on your test cases because it will it will help you generate these automatically instead of manually providing the data. So maintenance will be good in your test cases. So to generate date and time, we have this syntax provided by Tosca, which can be written like this: open flower bracket, date in capitals, then three open brackets, and then close your flower bracket. So this is how you generally write your syntax. Okay. So I'll explain you in simple terms what these three empty brackets mean. So the first empty bracket is the base date, okay, and the second one is the offset, and the third one is the format. So base date in the sense either you can provide a specific date or value over here, okay, like today's date or tomorrow's date, like that you can provide, or if you leave it blank during your test cases, it will take the default date that is set on your system that you're working on. Okay, so for example, if I leave this blank today, so if I run this, it will take today's date, which is 14th March 2026 in this format. Okay, so Tosca has a default format set for date, time, and both date and time, which is like for date, it will take first date, month, and year. For time, it's hours and then minutes. And for both date and time, it will give you first year, month, date, hours, minutes, and then seconds. So these are by default set in the Tosca settings. However, you can change this in your settings, but I will show that to you by the end of this video. For now, just understand the format that it will take by default. Okay. So this was about base date. Then comes offset. Offset in the sense it will help you deviate to your uh, future date or time like that, or past date, time, year like that. So for in order to move use that, you have two different methods by using plus and minus. So plus is for future, okay. Plus is used for your future dates and minus is used for past dates. It's very easy to understand. Plus is for future and minus is for past dates. So for example, if I take today's date and if I want to go to the next day, so here in offset I will be providing plus 1D. So here if I give plus 1D, it will go to next. And if I, yeah, so next comes format. Format in the sense, as I just said, this is the format, default format that we Tosca will provide the result into. However, you can use different formats. Like if you just want month and year, you can give MMYYYY. If you just want date and month, you can give these two. If you want date and year, you can do that also. You can provide that over in the last bracket. So this is how you enter the values and generate it in your test cases, your date or time or whatever it is. So the same thing I have mentioned over here. See the base date, you can provide any specific date or time, or if you leave it empty, it will use the actual date or the current date during your running test run. So if you add a specific date, you have to use the date format. Now your date format is the default date format, which is this one. And then comes offset, which is to deviate from the base date. So this deviation that we give plus or minus in the offset, it will depend on the base date that you are using. So for example, if you have provided here any specific date, like for last month 14th, suppose 14th Feb here, then if you provide any plus or minus in your offset to move to future or past, it will be based on the base date that you have given here. Okay, it will not generate randomly for today's date. So if you leave this blank, of course it will take the actual date, which is the current date. Otherwise, whatever date you provide here, this will be working based on that base date. And the format, as I said, you can use based on your requirements, however you want to. So this is the basic understanding of how we use the date syntax in our test cases. Now I will take you through some common examples of how you use your uh, syntax. But before that, let me first show you how you provide the details on your offset. Like during providing the details in your offset, see, you use the following components, a plus or a minus, and then the unit of time. Now, unit of time in the sense, if you give small d, it is used for days, which is including your weekends as well, Saturday and Sunday. But if you give a small w, it will only take the work days, which will not include your weekends or your holidays. It will normally take your work days, which is Monday to Friday. Okay. And small m stands for month. And sorry, capital M stands for months and small m stands for minutes. So make sure you're not confused in these two. People often gets confused. So capital is for months and small m is for minutes. And then Y is for years, H is for hours, and S is for seconds. These are very simple to remember because just the starting letters of your description over here. So these things you have to remember. These are the very important commands when you are giving any command onto your offset. Okay, here in the second bracket. So this is the main thing that you have to understand. So let us go to our tool. So for this example, I am using this following application, which is automation testing practice, as we have here two boxes for our date, right? So I have already scanned that into my Tosca command over here, and I have added that to my test case. So which you can see here. Okay, so let me just remove. So firstly, if I want to enter today's date over here, so what will I give? Just a random date. Okay, if I just give date here and I close this, it will generate today's date. The same thing you can check through right clicking on this and then click on translate value. ये आपको आज का डेट जो है वो बता देगा. This will show you the current date, what it will be generating. So if I run this test case, you can see it. It will add today's date in the box here. Let's just wait for it to generate the value. See, it has added today's date. Since I've just given date over there, it has added today's date. Okay. Now, if suppose I want the date after 5 days, for example. So how will I give that? First, I'll leave the base date as empty because it will be today's date itself. And I want to go plus 5 days. So I will give plus 5 and then small d, and I'll close this. And offset, I can leave it blank because I want the result in the same format as the default one. Okay. So now when I translate this, it will give me the date after 5 days, which is 19th March 2026. And if you run this, the same thing will be generating over here. Let's just wait for it to show up. See, it has generated the value as 19th March 2026, which is after 5 days from today. Similarly, you can also go back to 5 days. Like if you give here minus, it will go back to 5 days. Now, when you translate this, you can see the format in DD, MM, YY, YY. So suppose if I want to see it in a different format, like if I only want the date and month and I don't want the year. So what will I give? DD, comma, MM. Okay. Small d and mm. Capital M is for months. Okay. Let me just give one M. Now if I translate this, it will give us 19.3, which is 19th March. Okay. And if I give double, then it will give me 1903. Okay. And if I give triple, I think it will give me March ka MAR. See, triple M is MAR. And if I give 4 M's, then I think it will generate the complete value, March. So this is how you can make use of different formats. Similarly, if you want year and month, so you can just give it like MM and YY. These are case sensitive, so make sure you remember you're providing the correct value, small y, capital M, like that. And if I translate this, it will only give me the month and year. Okay, if I give only two y's here, so it will just give me the last two digits of my current year, so which is 26, like this. So this is how you can play with different formats in your test cases. Okay. See, now we saw the current date, we saw tomorrow's date. Again, you can add the same plus 1D. You try doing this on your own. You can also add different format if you want to result in different one. So 1 week ago again, it will be minus 7D. And next month is plus 1M. So M in the sense month. So it will take you to plus 1M. I can show that to you here. So suppose if I give, sorry, caps M. If I go 5 months from today and I want it in this format. So if I translate the value, it is giving me August 26. So 5 months from today will be August, right? So if you want, you can also get the date here, which will be DD. There will be a comma in between. So remember to add that as well. Once you translate, see it is gone to 14 August 26, which is 5 months from today. So now 1 working day from now. So 1 working day in the sense it will go to Monday, I think. Let's just see. Uh, let's see +5 only. 5 working days, and let's translate the value. After 5 working days, it is 20. From today, it is 20 March. So like this, you can work. Specific format, we have seen this. We can change the format like month, day, month. You can jumble it like first month, then day, then year, like that also you can do. So this is how you can use different date options. We have some other commands as well. I'll just show you. So see, the date we have already seen, it will give you the current date in this format. If you just give time, it will give you the current time. I'll just show you how that works. And if I just type time over here, and if I translate the value, it is giving me the current time, which is 6:28 evening. And it will be in the format hours and then minutes. Okay, see, hours and minutes. Date and time, it will give both date and time in the format. Let me type that and show that to you. Date, time, and close the bracket and translate the value. See, it is giving in the format year, then month, then date, then hours, minutes, and then seconds. And then we can also get the day, month, year if you Just simply type day. It will give today's day, which is Saturday. Okay, it is given date. Month. If I translate the value, third, which is March. And year, it will give 2026. Month first in the sense first day of the current month. Current month, first day is uh, month first. If I run this, it will give me the first March, first day. Month last, it will give the last day of that month. And then quarter first, it will give the current quarter in the format. Let's try this quarter first. Quarter first and translate the value. See, it is giving us 1st Jan. And again, we have trimester first. Okay. Yeah, translate value. It will give same 1/1/2026 current trimester in this format. All these are in the default format set in the Tosca settings. Okay. Half year first, it will give the current half year in the format. This also you can try and see what it is. Make sure everything is inside these lower brackets, then only your syntax will work. So 1/1/2026 is the value. So these are few commands that you use. Okay, these are few basic commands that you use in your date and time expressions. Okay. Now we also have some other prefix commands like L day, L month, L year, N day, N month, N year. So L day is like the full name of the weekday. For example, if you give L day here, so it will generate as Saturday. See, okay. So if you give L month over here, L month over here, and if you translate the value, it will give you full month name, March. And if you give L year, it will give the full years, like 2026, like that. Same goes with N day, it will give the double digits in day. Like, let me show that to you. N day, and I translate the value. See, it is just giving the day 14. So N month, it will give MAR for March. Okay. N month, translate the value 03. N year 26. A day in the sense, let me just show that to you. So these you don't work on every day, like only in few cases where you need this for your requirements, then only you will come across this. So A day means it will give the short form of your day. Saturday ka Sat. A month in the sense MAR for March. So when you translate the value, you see MAR for March. So like this, you can use these in your syntax whenever you want to generate any value for your data time expressions. Okay. There are some examples that are given over here in this page. I will share this link with you so that you can go through it completely and understand in more detail way like how you can use everything, but almost I have covered every part of it, and I hope you understood how you can use different set of values when you want to generate data in your application which you are working on. Okay, then I also told you that I will be showing you how you can change this default value. So there are two ways that you can do that. First, if you want to change the default values, you can parameterize those values in your test cases. Okay. For example, if you're working on this folder, this particular test case, so you can just go to your test configuration parameters and use these parameters like Tosca date format, time format, date time format, and you can specify your format like whichever you want. Like you can use YYYY, or you can use YY, or you can use DD and YYYY, anything, any format you can, whatever you provide here, those will be applicable to your test case that you are working upon. Okay. And there is another way that you can change that, but make sure you're like sure about that, because once you change that, it will be applicable to all the test cases on your Tosca commander. So that you can do by going to your project and coming to your settings, and wait for it to load. And when you open this T box here in the second one, you can see dynamic temporal expressions. Here you see target date format, time format, date and time format. Okay, so these things are set by default. You can see the values over here. So you can change this from here. And once you do this, it will be applicable to all the test cases, not just one specific test case that you are working upon. So when you are using this, better just use it carefully, because if your other test cases require it to be in other format, then that will become a problem for you when you're working upon other test cases. Okay. So again, the comment will show you the description of that particular, format, what it is, what it will be generating and all that. So you can change that from here as well. Or you can simply parameterize for each test case like separately, like for this one you want in a certain way, for the other test case you want in other certain way, that you can do from here. And you can use these three values for date format, for time format, and for both date and time format. Okay, so this was all about date and time expressions that we use in Tosca. So this is very, very much useful when you are working in your real-time project, wherein you will have to provide a date, or you need to fetch the time, or all those things. So instead of manually entering those, you can randomly automatically generate them using this syntax over here. So try to practice with different scenarios and different formats and offsets, and try to use this website. It is very much helpful when you are trying to use it from here. I will provide the links for these two, this one and this page as well, for you to learn more on this. So yeah guys, this was all about it. I hope this was clear for you, and if this was helpful, so please do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And in the next videos, we will be learning more topics about test cases section, and whatever is left, I'll try to cover that up. If in case you have any doubts or anything that we missed on, you can comment on the video, or you can reach out to me on my email address, and I will be taking that in the further videos. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Keep learning and keep practicing. Bye bye. Take care.